On today's show, we had special guest Tomer Barazani, all the way from Texas. He's a world traveler, Army, Israel, Texas, Kansas City, basically been all around the world, and he's a very interesting guy. We had a great conversation about his Instagram page, which is extremely popular. He's now a writer for Sports Illustrated for the University of Texas. That was super interesting. And he's also a Chiefs fan, so that was awesome, and a LeBron stan at the same time. So a little conflict there with Lawrence, but it was a great time. Let's go.
Welcome to the Slow Grind.
Welcome back, guys. We have a special guest, special caller, all the way from the far out land of Texas. Introduce yourself, Tomer.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tomer Barazani. Very excited to be here. Little bit about myself. I was born in Israel, actually.
Oh, wow.
Moved to the States back and forth a couple of times to Kansas City for a couple of years, back to Israel. And now this is year number 10 in Texas.
Wow.
I'm currently a sophomore at the University of Texas at Austin. Been a sports fan my whole life. Very excited to be here. Proud founder of TB Sports. My
We'll get
editing
to that
page.
later.
Very cool.
I did a gap year in Israel last year again to go back. Met some amazing people from all over the world. Transferred to UT. First semester has been great. My major is urban studies, so I'm very interested in real estate as well. It's a little bit about myself.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Where'd you go before you transferred to UT?
Yeah, the gap year.
So in my gap year, I was a semester in Tel Aviv where I did like an army program, like basic training, which was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then second semester in Jerusalem, we took classes, so I got college credits here for the U.S. So I didn't really miss the year, so
That's amazing.
it was a win-win. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
So you said you were born in Israel. Did you ever consider going to the army, or did you go to the army when you were in Israel, like when you turned 18?
So being born in Israel, obviously, like, speak Hebrew, fluent. My family only speaks Hebrew at the house. While living in the States, it was kind of a thought in my back of my mind, like, always, like, am I going to go back and do the army or not? But, like, after living in the States a couple of years, you make friends, you know, you get into, like, everything that's going on here, and you really feel like part of the community. So, like, army wasn't really, like, in my mind as much. So finishing high school, I was applying for UT Dallas. And about 2 months before college, I was going to go to UT Dallas, actually. And 2 months before college, my sister brought up the option of doing a gap year in Israel.
Okay, very cool.
My mindset on that was that college was always going to be here in the U.S.
Yeah,
and
of course.
I kind of was down for an adventure, meet new people. So
It sounds like a great program.
definitely the best decision of my life going to get here done.
Yeah, so how is the transition from going from, like, all that, like, being in Israel and being away, and then when you finally come back to college, how was that transition? Because you go, and then you come back, and then you go again, so it's, like, a lot of traveling.
Yeah, so I went to high school in Plano West in Texas, so very good academic school there, and then transitioned to Israel where I chose to do an army program, didn't really know what that was. Went in the first day, and apparently they had to shave all of your hair, so I went bald.
Oh, my God.
With
You gotta
5
do
of
it
my
for the
best
boys.
friends. Yep. Did the whole shtick of, like, staying on base, standing for 10 hours every day, waking up at 6 a.m. to do the 10.
Wow.
It was an insane, like I made friends there from the army that every time I go to Israel, I visit them. Like, I would never exchange it for anything, so that was amazing. And then in Jerusalem, basically going to classes. I already knew Hebrew, so the classes were a piece of cake. So yeah, you would see like that. The transition to the U.S. really like hit me back hard. You know, from doing a gap year where like I was just enjoying life for the whole year, and then coming and starting a semester at UT, which is like one of the better schools. I really had to like switch mindsets and get in the game immediately. You know, with classes, back to like studying habits and all of that.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I can't
Yeah, I
complain.
totally agree.
It's been amazing.
Okay, so you said you were like in America. You grew up. You lived in Kansas City, part of it,
Right.
and you told us that you were a Chiefs fan. So a
Yeah.
couple of things I had about that. So I know that you're also a big basketball fan. The time I met you, you were wearing a Donovan Mitchell jersey. I thought that was really cool. But what I will ask you is, so like these games usually start late night in Israel, or maybe like they'll start around like 2 a.m. You know, and talking about like how it's really hard to keep track. So how is
Right.
it possible to keep track? And do you have any like good memories of waking up and maybe like seeing that there's a late night like waking up
Yeah.
in the morning, there's a game on, or staying up really late at night to like watch a specific game? Do you have any good stories like that for us?
For sure. So that was like one of the harder parts for me, and that's kind of the reason I created my editing account to like stay connected to sports while being in Israel.
That's very cool.
But I remember like every night, like NBA games would start from like 2, 3 a.m. and go up until 7 a.m. So one of the funnier stories I have was in the Army, and I remember like if you get like 3 like not punishments, but if you like don't dress right or like you know you move in line, you get punished and you have to wake up at like 6 in the morning to run. And one of the Monday nights or Monday mornings, there was actually a Sunday night game here. It was like Chiefs Packers or something, like a
Okay.
crazy
Oh, wow.
game. And I woke up at 3 a.m. in my Army tent watching the game on my phone when you're not even allowed to have phones. So like I was
Really?
in my blanket watching.
We got a
Yeah,
badass in the building, baby.
It was like strict like Army rules.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. But then it was like a very close game. I'll sum it up like I basically stayed in my tent. I completely forgot about me having to go to do my punishment, whatever.
Oh no.
And then I walk out like in uniform like at 7, and she's like, where were you? And I was like, sorry, Miss Faketa, like I was watching a football game. So confused. Like, she had no idea what that was. But yeah, but living in Tel Aviv in Jerusalem, like I'd wake up. The way it would work is honestly I just had my iPad on the game, and I'd fall in and out of sleep in the middle of commercials. And then for the 7 a.m.s, I would wake up early to see like all the highlights from the
Yeah,
night before.
I remember
But yeah, it was difficult.
there was one time I was maybe in Israel for like a winter vacation trip or something like that, and I was on like we had to wake up early for a bar mitzvah or something like that day, and there was a game between Golden State and Portland. It was
Yeah.
like Durant versus Lillard. They're going bucket for bucket at the end of the game, and like I'm watching on my phone, and I have my friends texting me like, "Oh my God, this is happening right now," and they're like 7 hours behind in New York, and it's just such a
Yeah.
cool thing that you're able to like wake up and there's just a sick game on, and it'll
Yeah.
happen from time to time. It's probably like
It's a-
one of the sick
yeah.
things.
It's a special experience, especially like the Super Bowl. We had like 20 of all of our friends like show up, and you all watch. It's like at 2 or 3 a.m.
Of course,
and you just stay up the whole night and yeah. It was
that's
insane.
probably an amazing experience.
Yeah, definitely want to try that out. Oh, this kind of happened a similar experience while I was on Birthright this past summer. It was like the NBA Finals time,
Oh wow, that's very
where,
cool.
where I
Oh.
basically missed every single game. Like I would wake up and I would see if the Raptors won, and every single time they won, I had like a couple of friends with me, even a couple of the soldiers on the trip were big basketball fans, and like I would talk to them about like, are the Raptors actually gonna win?
Yeah.
Are they actually gonna do this? And I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
I was on top of a mountain. I don't remember where though. It was somewhere in the middle of Israel. I was on top of a mountain, and like
Mhm.
we're all having like this spiritual time where we're thinking about things. And I'm trying to like look at my phone, trying to refresh it as much as I can. I'm staring at my cousin Isaac. I was like, oh my God, the Raptors are about to win the finals. Oh, is this really about to happen?
That's crazy.
it was a surreal feeling. It's just so weird. You wake up, it's like
Mhm.
7 a.m. there, and it's
Yeah.
like,
There's stuff happening. It's always action.
oh, it's action.
Right.
So you mentioned your editing account, your Instagram account. So
Yeah.
like just
TB Sports.
the TV Sports
Right.
10. I'm like 95% sure Tomer Barazani Sports 10. Where did the number come from?
Yeah,
though?
where's the
Why
10?
Good question, honestly. Actually, you guys got it right. Many people think it's throwback sports,
Ooh.
which annoys me.
Oh.
Which also works. I mean, you can think whatever you want, but like
People who don't know you
I don't
think
know.
it's throwback sports,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, exactly. If they didn't know your name.
exactly. So when I started the account, I really had no idea what to name it, and I was like looking at other accounts, like other of my friends' accounts, and they kind of had sports in it.
Mm-hmm.
10 was always my favorite number. Originally came
Okay.
from like I loved soccer. Like I played
Messi?
soccer from a young age, and Ronaldinho was my favorite player.
Oh,
So
okay, that's very cool.
I decided to combine TB Sports and then put my favorite number in the back. That's how it all started.
Uh-huh.
Is there a
Yeah.
player today that you identify with 10? Like someone in the NBA? Like DeMar DeRozan type?
DeMar DeRozan.
Not really number. No.
No,
Honestly, 10 is only for soccer these days.
Only soccer.
It's very cool. You know what's something I noticed? We both got like our name from a similar place. You know, not both our name. Our name of our podcast obviously is the Slow Grind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We see it all the time that you post hashtag that Slow Grind. You know.
Yeah.
I like the capital.
Yeah, Isaiah
Slow.
Thomas shout out. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, because that's it. That's his brand.
Mhm.
That's Isaiah Thomas'
sure.
brand, and I guess we just kind of mimicked it. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
just life is a slow grind in general. Like,
Whoa.
like you just.
Yeah.
It's very philosophical, you
Very
know.
inspirational, Mars.
For sure.
We could definitely get
So-
into that another time.
Deep stuff.
What was the inspiration to create the page?
Yeah. So like, I created it during my senior year of high school. And through the first month, I was at like 50 to 100 followers. And that slow grind, actually, that was kind of what inspired me to get the account started. Isaiah Thomas was always like one of my favorite players, and just like his story is like so
So good.
inspirational to me.
Great.
And realizing that like that slow grind just resonated with me. Like there's gonna be tough times. Like it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna happen overnight. And like so I started posting that slow grind after every video. And it kind of became like, I don't know.
Your
it's
trademark.
Like now,
Synonymous
Yeah,
with
exactly.
you.
and I like messaged him too about it and Slow Grind Media or whatever to make sure it's okay. So
Oh, wow, that's
started the account like 100 followers like a couple months in. Wasn't really doing too well, but I always loved watching like editing videos on Instagram.
Mhm.
And you know, I just kept going. You know, just it was really like something I loved to do. Like I didn't start it with the intention of it blowing up. I really didn't. And then slowly through like hashtags, through the explore page, through everything, basically it started blowing up, and I started gaining like 100 followers a day almost at one point.
Wow.
Very cool.
That's when I was posting like 3 to 4 videos a day. I was really like grinding back then, and from there on, it's just become like something that I can't see my life without. You know, like every day I wake up, it's like it's like I don't know how to describe it. I really feel like
It just
becomes
became part of it.
yeah.
Like, part
Yeah,
of your
it's
daily
part of your life.
routine. How long does it
Yeah.
take for you to like make every video that you make? Because the videos they make are really well edited.
Thank you. Honestly, it doesn't take that long. I have a YouTube Plus where I can download videos from YouTube. So I basically download the clips, cut them up, download whatever music. Copyright's kind of an issue, so you got to choose.
Yeah.
Because
Choose
Instagram
carefully.
usually like, yeah. So like I post on another account to make sure that the song isn't copyrighted before.
Ah.
Because a lot of accounts get deactivated from Instagram, and that's
If
when
you
it's
have enough
scary.
DMCA takedowns, they'll get you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow.
But usually it takes around a good edit would take me like an hour, but if I want to knock one out, I can do one in 15, 30 minutes.
Oh, that's really cool.
So
Yeah.
I would piggyback off that. I would say that I've made some edits myself, but I don't do long forms. I take one specific play, like let's say I'll give you an example, like Kyrie crossing up Brandon Knight in the Rising
Yeah.
Stars Challenge. Which, by
Yeah.
the way, if you look at the people that were playing in that game, it's all the stars from today. It's like ridiculous. Like on the bench was like Anthony Davis, Kawhi
I see,
Leonard.
yeah, yeah. I know.
It's like insane. But even Isaiah Thomas was in that game.
Really?
Yeah, he was on the court during that play.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
So, like, I take that one play and I try to chop it up in a way and then post it on TikTok. And I'm not even joking. If you wanted to get into it, shit goes viral there. I'm not even joking, Tomer. It's like wildfire.
I honestly haven't been gotten involved in TikTok at all, but I always see them on Twitter like go viral.
Exactly.
It's
but yeah.
crazy how things can get views there in a matter of seconds. It's nuts. Like, I have no idea how their algorithm works, but somehow you post a video and then, I don't know, an hour later it has 1,000 views
That's
and you
pretty
have
crazy.
like 200 followers.
It's a great idea, actually.
Yeah, it's a good way to promote your brand. That's what I'm doing right now. And sometimes, like, you get videos that have 20,000 views. Like it's happened
Wow.
to me like 3 times or 4 times already. So
Wow,
it's
that's very good.
it's pretty cool.
Wow.
But
Amazing.
how have you been able to sustain this like growth? Like you're at 42,000 followers already.
Yeah, just posting as much as I can, whenever I can. My main thing that I think that I do different from other accounts is I try to like have a personal relationship with my followers. So whenever like a big thing like that slow grind, like it's motivation for me. So my thing is try to motivate others. I try to post like motivational quotes and everything, and I have followers literally like DMing me about like what they're going through and like
Oh,
just
wow.
helping each other out. So like if you
It's
get
a
personal with like,
community.
your followers, yeah,
I love
so
that.
it becomes more than like just a random account you're following.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Definitely.
Gotcha.
Speaking of interacting with the people, like your followers and everything like that, I saw on your Instagram that you have a deal with SeatGeek to get people like
That's so
actual
fucking lit.
sales. How cool is that?
That's insane.
How's that? How does it even happen? How do you get something
sponsorship
like this?
deal.
Do you reach out to them? Do they reach out to you? I don't know if you can tell us everything, but like whatever you can.
Yeah. So when I was at like 20 or 25,000 followers, I keep on, when you meet people, they eventually find out about your account, and then they're like, oh, that's so cool. And then this one kid in Israel, he came up to me and he was like, yo, like, what are you doing? And I was like, what do you mean, what am I doing? Like, why aren't you, like, making money off of this? Like, why are you just sitting there? I was like, oh, I don't know. I never really thought about that. I told him, like, I just post for fun, I wasn't really thinking about that at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, start thinking about it. So, like, I went to my DMs, and obviously, like, there's a bunch of small companies that contact me. But I really wanted someone who, like,
Was
is
established.
established, exactly. So I went around and then saw another, like, big Instagram account with SeatGeek, and I DM'd them and how they got it. And they basically just told me to message SeatGeek and try to email them. So I went to the SeatGeek website. They had like an application. I applied, and about a week later, I got accepted.
Oh wow.
And it's been great. Like anybody who uses SeatGeek, you can use my code TB Sports at checkout, and you get $20 off your first purchase.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good deal for everyone, and I really enjoyed working with them for sure.
Do you have to make sponsored posts at all, or you just leave the link in the bio?
I leave the link in the bio, and then once every week or two, I need to be better about it. But I do post like ads like on the page, but I do need to be better about it. I usually post it on the story, actually.
How do you like? What type of ad is it? Is it just a picture that says, "Oh, use my code"?
It's some sort of basketball picture with a SeatGeek logo that says, use the code, get $20 off, swipe up to and then it takes you to the website immediately, to the SeatGeek website.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
That's so freaking cool.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get a sponsorship on this podcast so badly. so
Yeah,
badly.
Once I got that, I was like, okay, now it's really something.
Yeah. I was in contact with a clothing company a while
Really?
back. Yeah. and you know those Instagram accounts that just DM you and they're like, "Oh yeah, you want to be an influencer or whatever?" So
Yeah.
so like their item was you get like a 30% discount on their website. You go to their website and you buy a pair of clothing and you take a picture with it, and then like you become their influence marketer with like quotation marks or like whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And like I've seen some people do it. It's like it's kind of weird. And I was like, "Yo, do you want to sponsor the podcast?" And they're like, "Oh, we're kind of interested." And then they didn't really answer after that. they kind of dropped out.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll be there soon enough.
Well, we'll get there. I just think it's so cool.
Yeah, and the truth is, like you lived in a couple different places, so obviously we could tell like what the teams that you like are like they vary from place to place, but you have like a nice spread.
Yeah, it's a
It's
very
like I
diverse.
noticed.
It's a very
Uh-huh.
diverse cluster. Like
Like it wasn't
I don't
all
even know.
Kansas City, wasn't all Texas. It was just place to place. You picked up a different team. Like
Yeah.
So obviously you lived in Kansas City, and you told us that you were a Chiefs fan. So like how is
That's got to be exciting.
How is it this year? Like this year probably was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was unreal. I was actually gonna go to the Super Bowl, but classes were in the way the next day, and I had a test, so I couldn't.
Wow, look at you.
But yeah, I can say that I cried for the first time in a long time.
Aw.
It was amazing.
Yeah, if the
Nice,
Jets
yeah.
ever made it to the Super Bowl, I would cry. I would 100% cry. There's not a doubt in my mind. The Knicks making the playoffs, I'd cry.
If the Jets go to the Super Bowl, would you consider streaking?
Streaking where?
Just in the streets. I think we have to lock it down now that you would have to do that. Do you agree, Tomer, or no? I feel like he should do it.
I think you should do it too.
Uh-huh.
That's like a great idea.
But condition, Tomer has to be here, though. Tomer has to be here.
Okay, fair enough.
All right,
Fair enough.
if the Jets make it, I will come.
You gotta come to New York.
if the Jets make it to the Super Bowl, you come to New York. Also,
Is there a time frame, or is this like ever?
Oh,
You gotta give me like a window, like 5 years.
no, but then it's just impossible.
In the Donald era, I don't know.
Darnold there?
That's a good one. If Sam
Darnold-
Darnold wins the Super Bowl with the Jets, you have to go streaking.
What if he wins it with another team?
Doesn't matter.
Has to be the Jets.
Jets.
Fine.
Has to be Jets.
Darnold championship with the Jets.
You will go streaking in Times Square.
Wait, what kind of streaking though? What am I wearing?
I think the whole point of streaking is that you're not wearing.
No, I can't go naked.
That was
Times
obvious.
Square is too risky. He'll go to jail.
No, yeah. No, you have to go to jail. I'll take off my shirt.
That's nothing. I'll take off my shirt right now and go to Times Square.
No, you won't.
I know, but still.
We can hammer out the
Okay,
details.
details
later.
are later.
Details we can handle later. But have you? So you said you grew up in Kansas City. Were you always as dedicated as you were today, or maybe when Alex Smith came, you got a little more into it?
Yeah, so when I was there, I was like from age, I'd say 4 to 10. So I was there in the Trent Green era, pre-Holmes era, Dante Hall, back in the day, yeah.
Best returner of all time.
Yeah.
That
So,
guy,
like, I was,
that guy can make Instagram highlights. I'll tell you that much.
Yes, he can.
Mm-hmm.
I was a season ticket holder back then, and like
Oh, that's really cool.
lived through the good years, the bad years. We were always pretty average, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And then moved to Texas, and never really got with the Cowboys. Cowboys weren't doing it for me.
God, we wouldn't be having this interview right now if you were a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, Cowboys fans are rough. But yeah, I tried to, I went to the games, whatever, but didn't really feel the same connection that I had to KC.
Mm-hmm.
So always
Yeah,
was
the
a Chiefs
hometown.
fan. And then slowly started getting better. Alex Smith, and we got Andy Reid. Jamal Charles was in the mix.
Oh, I love Jamal Charles.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mahomes just ended the game.
Yeah. he's
Yeah.
so good.
Now you're fully in. Now you're locked in.
Now I'm all in.
Yeah. Now you got to be all in. Once you have a star quarterback like that, you just like how can you not be dedicated and invested into the franchise like that?
Yeah. I actually have a good question for you, Tomer, right now. It's a, kind of an ultimatum because you are Israeli, but at the same time, you do like football. So if you had to choose, would you choose football or football? One's gone forever.
Wow.
It's a good question.
Out of the
Uh-huh.
out of the blue. Wow. That was a good one.
I feel like at an early age, I would choose football, as in soccer, because that's what I started playing at like age 3 till 7, like consistently.
Okay.
But as time went on, like now I am much more of a football fan.
I hear it.
Than a bigger part of my life for sure.
Definitely.
So yeah, that would probably be my answer.
That's America 1, Israel 0.
Just Europe 0. Just straight up.
World zero.
But all time Chiefs, who's your favorite player? Like now, like present, future, past, like just actually not future. That doesn't make any sense. But just like anyone.
That's a great question. I would say Priest Holmes.
Oh, the running back. That's beast.
Yeah, such an OG back in the day.
Mhm.
Beast. Just dominated throughout and kind of was, in my opinion, underrated at the time.
Mhm.
But now kind of people look back on him.
And they're like,
Finally
yeah,
give
he's a
him
dog.
Respect.
But yeah, Travis Kelce's also up there for me.
Oh.
Travis Kelce.
So much fun to
And
watch.
now that I remember,
So much fun.
Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez.
Oh, look at
Wow.
That's a good call. I like that one. But if
Tony
you were,
Gonzalez is-
oh, maybe you can make it Mount Rushmore. I'll make it. I'll give you a little bit easier. You get 4 people.
Top 4 Chiefs all time. You got.
So
You gotta put Tony up there.
He said Priest Holmes. You have Tony Gonzalez, Travis Kelce, Jamal Charles.
I would say for the 4th, even though it's been a year and change, Patrick
Mahomes.
Mahomes.
Yeah, I
Like, he
guess.
got us-
ridiculously fun to
he
watch.
brought a Super Bowl.
Uh huh.
Like he won a Super Bowl. Like,
Yeah.
for 50 years.
I would agree.
Yeah. So next year, Chiefs. I mean, they look good again. They're the favorites to win again. You know, do you see it happening again, or what's your thoughts? Like, what's your prediction for the Chiefs?
In my heart, I feel like the Chiefs are going to be in the next 3 out of the 4 Super Bowls.
Oh,
Wow.
For sure.
yeah, I totally agree with that. I think they're absolutely amazing. I just think they have to figure out the running back situation because when they had Kareem Hunt, they were even more unstoppable.
Right.
But if they draft someone this year,
The thing is, you don't need
It's
to
over.
spend like a lot of capital
Exactly.
on running back.
Yeah,
you
no,
can
you
draft one in the
just
third,
draft one.
fourth round like you did Kareem Hunt, and you're back to where you are. But
Exactly.
Damian Williams isn't that bad. Like, but you know,
fantasy-wise,
there is
he
an
was so
improvement.
bad this year.
Yeah, that's true.
He was so bad.
Damian Williams in the Super Bowl was my Super Bowl MVP, in my opinion. He was very good in the Super Bowl.
Oh, ridiculously good in the Super Bowl. But I'm actually on the train that Mahomes deserved it.
Yeah, I'm on that train too.
You're on Mahomes. I
I'm on
remember you like
Nope.
debating me earlier. Okay.
No, I was definitely on the Mahomes train because without Mahomes, there's no comeback when you're down 20 to 10.
100%.
Damian Williams, he had 2 touchdowns, but one of them
Yeah.
was a receiving touchdown, which obviously Mahomes is a part of, and then the other one is like kind of a BS one. Like you could just run out of bounds and like the game's over, you know, like or like you stay in bounds, the game's over, clock runs.
You have a point. There was 3 comebacks.
Uh huh.
The whole playoff was a
Crazy.
comeback.
Oh yeah, the entire thing.
Comeback after comeback. Comeback.
Yeah.
The one against the Texans was just unbelievable because like
Oh,
that was
yeah.
the first one. They're down 24-0, I think, right? Am I crazy?
21.
Oh,
20
yeah.
I think it was 24 maybe.
Okay, they're down 24-0. Correct me if I'm wrong later, but
That was the first
then,
quarter.
So then we don't know that this was gonna happen because like then it was Texans first, then it was Titans, then it was the Super Bowl obviously, and I didn't see it coming at all. Like it was 24-0.
Yeah.
I thought the game was over, but
I was in Israel at the time, and again woke up in the middle of the night to watch the game.
Oh,
And then first quarter hit, very excited, 24-0, whatever it was. I was like, here we go again, because for the past 10 years, that's been the story, you know.
the one
Like,
against the
we
Colts
had
too. You know that was
Yeah.
a really bad one.
amazing regular season, and then in the playoffs, something happens and it doesn't click.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as we got that first touchdown, the momentum shifted. Mahomes picked it up, and the rest is history.
How many times did you think, okay, I should probably just go to sleep right now? It's 3 a.m. My team's down 24. You know, like this isn't worth watching. I'd rather just be sleeping. Did that ever cross your mind?
I was so mad at the time for 24-0. Like I shut my phone off. I was like, all right, I'm going to sleep, but then like I couldn't sleep. So, like 30 minutes later, I was like, all right, let's try this again. And then it got better.
It just worked out. That's very funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So you also told us that you're a big NBA fan, and
Yes.
I don't know how much Lawrence is gonna like this, but you were a massive LeBron stan.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah.
Not a Lebron guy myself.
Lawrence
there's
is
just something-
notorious for
There's something
not
about
being
him
a LeBron guy.
I just don't like.
Who's your team, Knicks?
I'm a Nets fan. Brooklyn Nets.
Nets fan?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I've always been okay. Let's just clear this up. I was a New Jersey Nets fan too, so you know, like it
Okay,
goes
okay,
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel you.
I'm a Knicks diehard fan through and through. Through and through. Tomer, it's a rough
Tough time.
day. And today I just put on the story that did you see that report that came out that RJ Barrett is like technically a right-handed he's a right hand dominant person like
Yeah, no, but he shoots
That's-
with his left because he feels more comfortable with it. Like why?
What? I didn't see that.
Yeah,
What?
he's
Homer, I lost
he
my
is-
fucking
He
mind.
is a right-handed person. That's just who he is. But he shoots left-handed because he just feels more comfortable with it.
I didn't. That's crazy.
That's so weird.
And you know who had a field day with it? Wobe. Wobe had a field day with it. Field day.
yeah.
Like, I mean, why can't they do anything right? Anything. Literally, like, if it was handed to them on a silver platter, the Knicks, like, if like, a golden franchise, a golden opportunity was handed, they'd fuck it up. Like,
Who do you blame?
so-
Ownership?
Yes.
I think Dolan has to go. I think
Never
everyone
will.
just...
Yeah.
I just think that no one wants to come play for the Knicks just because it's so disorganized and so up in shambles, up in flames. Like, who wants to come play in New York, honestly?
You're right. Nobody. You
Literally
left
nobody
Durant
does.
and Kyrie.
Yes, you did. Let's go.
Okay, but on that topic, are they a top 3 team next year?
Nets
Yeah.
in the East.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
Of course.
No question?
Kyrie.
Durant as much of a LeBron fan as I am, I think Durant's the best player in the world.
Me too. I always get crapped on for that. That's
Okay,
That's,
how about this?
Thank you.
I have a question for you. Here's a
What's up?
serious question. Me and Lawrence had an argument with, I think AB was here when we talked about it. It was our all-time starting five. And
Okay.
me and AB both picked LeBron as our starting small forward.
Yeah.
And Lawrence over here picked Kevin Durant. What are your thoughts on that?
Are we talking like prime in their prime?
Yeah.
It's LeBron. It's got to be LeBron. You saw it last night. LeBron, when he wants to, he can drop 40, 50, whatever, you know? Like, he plays to the team's advantage, you know? In Cleveland, like, 2018 playoffs was, in my mind, the greatest playoff run in history. That was insane.
I mean, he
like,
carried the team.
Pacers 7, Boston 7, Toronto swept Toronto.
Toronto swept.
LeBronto, as they call it.
Yeah,
you know?
Toronto.
Exactly.
I remember that one. That was great.
I definitely feel, yeah. And once the playoffs hit this year, he's gonna start activating more. So in their prime, LeBron for sure over KD, just like overall.
But but what's more importantly, right now, Kevin Durant. That's all.
Well, right now Kevin Durant isn't playing, so LeBron.
Okay, so next
Like,
year. Next year, fair.
But even at 85%, he's still a top 10 guy.
Durant?
Top 5 guy.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
Did you see his warm up videos a couple of days ago?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
He's
very
getting there.
scary.
He's
Looks
getting
good.
Looks
He
very
looks
scary.
good.
Very scary. Very,
Yeah.
very, very scary. I would say he has a pretty solid soup game, though, on the sidelines.
Oh,
He
I'm
does
not
that.
gonna lie. He,
like as good as it is, I'm okay. I'm ready for it to end. That's all. I'll leave it at that.
he goes with like the nice black on black look. I like it. It's very clean. Very, very
Officially
clean.
tanking. Kyrie's out for the season too, right?
Yep.
No, but they're still gonna
We're gonna make the playoffs.
8th seed.
We're
They're
gonna
gonna make
need
the
the
8th
8th
seed
seed this
because
year.
everyone
Are they
else is so
Yeah.
bad.
The East.
Everyone is so bad.
The 9th seed in the East right now is the Wizards. I'm pretty sure. And yeah, it is.
Oh.
And the Wizards are 6 games behind the Nets, and the Wizards suck. So whatever. Like
I mean,
we'll-
like,
we'll-
it's just like a
that-
guaranteed playoff spot. It's like a guaranteed sweep against the Bucks. Like it's,
yeah, no, we'll lose in 4 games against the Bucks, but whatever.
No, maybe you'll win one.
Nah,
I give you one.
No.
You beat the Sixers last year.
Yeah, but it was different because we had like D'Angelo Russell and
No, you had Jared
D'Angelo
Dudley.
Russell's so good.
Yeah, Jared Dudley.
Jared Dudley.
Ed
That's what
Davis.
it
This
was.
offseason,
Look at that.
do you guys think that they need another piece, like a big piece? Would you trade the likes of Karis, LeVert, and Jared out?
It
Would you
depends who we're
trade those
getting.
pieces to get another solid one, or no?
I
If
would
we're
say
getting-
if you get like a nice Rocco type of guy.
Who? Robert Covington? No. What? No. No. Mars.
Why he plays
For Karis LeVert and Jarrett Allen? No.
No, not Jared Allen. Oh, you said
That's
Jared
what-
Allen
that's what we're
too?
saying. Yeah, that's what he said.
I was just saying,
And-
like-
Okay, first of all, Karis LeVert's potential
Either or.
is better than Robert Covington. Let's that's 100% factual. You cannot debate that.
What about
I
the
agree.
defense?
Karis isn't bad defensively.
No, I'm saying
But
that
okay,
Robert
yes,
Covington.
yes, I understand. But
defense is amazing.
Karis' offense is more valuable than Robert Covington's defense.
No, but you don't need offense when you have
Okay.
KD and you
Time
have
out.
Kyrie.
Time out. I'm not debating this. Why am I debating this with you? This is not something worth debating. That's wasting my time.
Okay. Okay, so keep on going. Who would you trade for?
Who would I trade for? If you're the only way that teams will if you're saying what star brings them to the next level, guys that are available like that is Bradley Beal. I will trade whatever Washington wants for
Wow.
Bradley Beal. I will do.
This past week for Bradley Beal, oh my.
Ridiculous. 110
I feel
points
so
in
bad.
2 games. I feel horrible.
Unreal.
I feel so bad, and he lost both of them.
Uh-huh.
And there's a video of the video pans to him when there's like a minute left in the game. And he's looking around
Yeah.
like with the most disappointed face ever.
Uh-huh.
Ugh,
So sad.
I feel so
He's
bad
so
for him.
good.
He's so good though. He was I think in the last it was like 35, 40 years, he was the only player to not make the playoffs after averaging 27 points, I think, or
Damn.
27 and a half points. Booker was on that list too, but he made it as like a replacement for Dame.
Yeah.
I hear.
That was-
Yeah, because Dame was hurt. Which I was upset about. Like, Booker should have made it, like, in general. Like, regardless. Like, just because he's on a bad team. And they're probably going to shut him down anyways this year. Because the Suns stink again.
Yeah, but
So, hand up, I was wrong. I said the
oh, yeah,
Suns
you
were
did
going to be
say
the
something
8th
really
seed.
close. Yeah, you're right.
Hand up. I was wrong.
But anyways,
LeBron.
yeah.
I mean, so, have you always been a LeBron stan from the Cavs? Like, or when he went to Miami, that's, like, really when it started?
So, probably when he went to Miami, when I moved to Texas at the time,
Mm-hmm.
That's when I kind of started following him. And then in Cleveland, I went to the 2017 finals,
Oh,
Game 5, where Golden State won it all.
okay, that's very cool.
And that was insane. I got on the court after the game.
Really?
Talk
That
about
was-
that experience.
that-
Yeah.
That's very
Whoa.
cool.
That was kind of the moment where everything clicked out. I was like, oh my god, we need to get back to the finals. And then I was kind of LeBron ride or die from there on.
Wait, how'd you happen to get
Yeah.
onto the court? How'd you get that done?
Oh, that's a good question. So outside the stadium, they had this photo booth, and they gave you this fake badge with your picture on it.
Credentials, okay, sure.
So yeah, and I was like 17 or 16 at the time.
Okay.
At the end of the game, basically, I walked down. It's the NBA Finals, confetti's flying. I walk down, go start as a kid. People don't pay attention to you as much.
Yeah.
Somehow I get onto the side of the court, and then security's there, and they're like, "Oh, who are you with?" Whatever. And me being the innocent boy, and I'm like, "I'm lost. I don't know where I am."
Really?
There's the exit. So they turn around, and I was like, "You know what? I'm never gonna be in this position again in my life. This is insane. Let me try my luck." So I basically just go in between the two security guards, and there I am in the middle of the court with confetti flying.
That's
I have a
crazy.
video on my Instagram with Steph Curry and the trophy. I met Snoop Dogg. It was
Wow, that's sick.
I need to see this
It was
video
unreal.
ASAP. This is crazy.
That's so cool.
Oh my
insane.
god.
Yeah, it was the craziest day of my life. And then the next day I flew back to Texas, and then I was in my room and I was like, "What just
It's like
happened?"
you
It was a
actually
week-long
just did
depression
that,
after.
you know?
Okay, was there any player that you saw and was like, whoa, that guy's so fucking tall? You're like,
Yeah.
whoa.
That happened.
I went to the tunnel, and then a bunch of Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady, a couple of legends walked by me, and then I spotted Klay Thompson's brother. He looks just like him, by the
Yeah.
way.
Trace,
And
right?
I was like, yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, let me follow this dude. He might lead me to the locker room or something. So I was basically standing behind. I was in a Cavs jersey, by the way, too.
Okay.
So it was kind of in Oracle Arena. So I was following him around, and I got into I got 2 levels deep into security. They didn't notice me. And then I was right outside the locker room where I can hear them, the champagne
Celebrating.
and everything. It was crazy. And then security asked Clay's brother if I was with him, and he was like, no, and he just kicked me out.
Oh,
But it was unreal. I have
So we
bunch
know
of videos
we
from-
now know that Trace Thompson is not for the boys.
No, he's not for the
He is
boys.
not.
Not a boys guy.
Cancel him.
I should have
Cancel.
changed shirts. Maybe if I'd
You know
known.
what?
Oh my God!
I-
Imagine you were in the Warriors. Imagine you were wearing his Dodgers jersey. That would be really cool. That
Okay,
you
I
would
would've been
get
in.
away with it.
The
You
Slow
would've
Grind
gotten it.
podcast is officially canceling
Trace Thompson.
Trace Thompson.
Oh.
Official cancel. You are never allowed on the show. DM me if you're interested. But it's probably so exciting in LA, being a fan. But no biased opinion. I know you're a big NBA fan. Are they the best team in LA?
No, definitely not.
I agree too. Tell me, we have very similar views on this.
I think it's all
I'm a big
Clippers.
LeBron fan, but I'm when it comes to being biased, I understand Clippers are so deep and they have,
Exactly.
Mhm.
it's
If-
gonna be too much. I feel like.
Agree. And a
Just got Reggie
7-game series,
Jackson,
whenever
Morris.
LeBron decides that he's gonna sit off the court, just get his 5-minute rest in, they're just gonna run up the score on him every single time because it's Alex
It's not gonna be
Caruso
sweet though.
guarding.
It's gonna be a close series.
No,
but
it'll-
I give it
It'll
a
be
Clippers
7.
edge.
It'll definitely
Yeah,
be 7.
I think
no
I think
question.
that game 7 will be one of the most fun games to watch because it's gonna be, hopefully, if seeding allows it to be that, it'll be the Western Conference Finals. So if it's a game 7, it could be the most exciting game of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had. I really hope the seeding works out where they can play in the Western Conference Finals,
Mhm.
and it's not like the round before, and then one of them gets knocked out, and then let's say the Nuggets make it through, and somehow the Nuggets make it to the finals. Not
Yeah.
saying that the Nuggets are bad.
But
They're a
it's not-
great team, but that's not the team I want to watch in the finals. I want to be either
Do y'all
watching
feel like-
Kawhi or LeBron in the finals. That's
Do y'all feel like that would be the finals though, or do you think the Bucks or somebody in the East would take it?
No, I think the Bucks definitely can take it, but it's the two best teams, the two most talented teams. I'll leave it at that this year are the Clippers and the Lakers, most probably. I don't like.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, usually in the NBA, the way that it works is the most talented teams will win. They're often every once in a while we're reminded that that's not really the case, like the Raptors last year. but usually what happens is the best team wins. So when these two teams aren't playing each other in the finals, it doesn't feel like, like that's just like the finals feel like they came early. Like when the Rockets played the Warriors.
Yeah, like that.
Like those games
that
felt
was
more
the
like
finals.
finals, and then the Warriors beat the Cavs in 5. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
that
whoever
kind of
was gonna win
situation.
that series. So I feel like that situation can happen again this year with the Lakers and the Cavs. I mean the Lakers and the Clippers, and and the Bucks are there, and they're definitely a threat to win it all. But I feel like I'm slightly overlooking them. That's what I'm gonna say. That's how I'll leave it.
I have a question
Okay.
for you, Tomer. What's your stance on Draymond Green getting suspended in that finals, and how that related to the Cavs winning?
Oh,
Do you think that was a big effect?
Yeah, huge. They probably would have won the next game if he was there.
100%.
That series was the best final series in my opinion ever.
definitely was.
I don't know about
everything
ever,
that
'cause I don't
happened
know
there.
It was.
ever.
It was.
I don't know about ever
Ever.
because
No one.
I
3-1.
haven't watched enough.
3-1. That's all that
From
matters.
game 6, no, game was it when they were up 3-1. Game 5 on the road, Kyrie and LeBron both putting up 40-point games. That was a legendary game. And just like the whole story, like when it was 3-1, Klay Thompson in his interview, like saying LeBron might have gotten his feelings hurt, and then that being a 73-win team, like the best team in regular season team in history.
Yeah.
In Game 7, the block, the shot, everything that happened,
Yeah.
like when you take it all into account, like it was
It was the best finals of all
unreal.
time.
That's one of my favorite Mike Breen calls. Also,
Oh, definitely that and the Steph Curry.
Irving
beating.
and Curry.
I like
Uh-huh.
I like the Irving one. I like when he did it over Curry. I like the one where Melo hit those 2 shots against the Bulls.
Oh,
That was on that's on MSG.
That's fire.
That's on MSG. They had a whole thing the other day honoring him just because he's done MSG. I think it's like 25 years
wow,
already.
That's really cool.
Yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame now.
Yeah,
Pretty crazy.
good for him.
But really, thank you so much for coming on today, Tomer.
Yeah, thank you, Tomer.
Like, you have
No
no idea how
problem.
much we appreciate this. And shout out TV Sports 10.
Uh-huh.
You got to go follow him on Instagram. He's posting every day. You got all the highlights, all the good stuff. So exciting.
And also, you're gonna take me. I'm gonna come to Texas, and you're gonna host me for a weekend when they play against a good team, right? When they're playing.
Oh, 100%.
Wait, you think it's only you, Lawrence? Wait,
us. I forgot to say us.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
during football
us.
season. That's
Uh-huh.
the best.
Us.
That's the plan. I'm coming. I'm serious.
Yeah. Hopefully by then I'll be covering the games. I can get you guys on the field.
Ooh.
Oh.
Speaking of, wait, before we wrap it up, I want to talk about
the Sports
your
Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated
Oh
thing.
my God.
That's
Yeah.
really
How did we
really
totally
cool
forget
too.
about that?
So what's the story?
Yeah,
Is
how'd you hook that up?
Sports Illustrated Texas Longhorns like a subdivision of Sports Illustrated, or is it like how does it work?
So Sports Illustrated, they a couple months ago changed like their whole strategy. Rather than having like one primary like location in writers in New York, now they have every like team. They have like an SI page for them.
Okay.
So they have a Houston Rockets page, a Cowboys page, and they have a UT page. So for me, I feel like it was pure luck, but everyone around me doesn't. I just met the right person at the right time, who happened to know this guy, who knew that guy, and then got an interview and started working for them around 2 months ago.
That's
So
very
I
cool.
started another Instagram SI UT page, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that. I even read your
and-
article. I saw that
the
first
past couple
article.
weeks- yeah, so it's been crazy. Like, I have no experience in journalism whatsoever. The past couple weeks, they've been giving me, like, media passes to the game, so I'm, like, on the
Wow,
court. It's been
sick.
sick.
Uh-huh.
And, like, interviewing the coaches and players, and I've been writing articles for SI, and it's been getting bigger and bigger. So I don't know where it's going to take me, but
It's so cool.
very exciting. Yeah, it's insane.
That's so honestly, that's sick. Okay, so basically, we're coming to Texas.
Yeah, and he's
coming
getting
to
us onto
Texas.
the field with media credentials. Did you hear that? I heard that.
Oh wow, this is so exciting.
We're gonna meet Sam Ellinger.
Is he?
For sure.
Wait. Is he a junior or
No, he's
or
a
a
junior.
senior?
He has one more year left in him.
Okay, so
He's a
we'll see him.
rising senior.
Right, exactly.
Nice.
Mhm.
So we get to see him. Who else is in Texas? I don't even know.
Dicker the kicker. Duh.
I'm surprised you know that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, how about this? What about I can't remember the basketball player's name. The one that had leukemia. What was his name? Andrew
Jones. Andrew Jones.
Andrew Jones. Yeah. My bad. Yeah.
He's starting now. He got back in the lineup.
Oh wow, that's
He's doing
really
good.
cool.
Did you have a chance to interview him at all or no?
That would be a good interview piece for UT.
Not yet. I've been to
SIUT.
2 games, and usually like in the media room, it's like it's usually the coaches and then like the top players, and he hasn't
Uh,
been.
and he hasn't
going
been
off
there
yet.
yet.
Oh,
Okay.
And to
we're
be
getting
honest,
royalties
like I
from you.
haven't asked the question yet. I'm kind of nervous. So.
Okay. Who's
Still
the
working up
coolest
there.
player you got to meet through using this Sports Illustrated?
Or have
Like-
you?
like,
it
have
has
you
only been
ha-
2
like-
months. So you
Yeah,
know,
but like, have you met anyone like crazy yet?
Nothing crazy yet because it's only been basketball.
Okay.
So probably like Shaka Smart. Something
Oh,
really
wow.
cool was like
That's very
during
cool.
the timeouts, like I get to be in the huddle for UT.
Really?
So I'm just like standing there, like I mean, I'm not really supposed to be there, but like I mean,
We won't tell anyone.
We won't tell anyone. It's
Yeah,
secret.
exactly. Yeah, don't tell anyone. Like just like listening into the huddle and just like learning the journalism aspect of it. Like I've never written articles, so like my family, my brother, sister, like I send them articles to edit for me. So it's really been a
Cool.
team effort all around to make this happen.
It's very, very cool.
That's honestly, your life is so exciting right now. I understand, like, you
Living the
travel,
campus life.
living the campus life.
I like it.
Also, now you're doing the media. You got your Instagram.
Yeah, that's been my motto for the first semester here at UT. Like, there's so many opportunities and like places to go here through UT. Like, my thing has just been saying yes to everything that's come my way. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But try it at least.
Yeah, you gotta give it at least a little run. And I really hope this thing keeps on going because it sounds like it's a lot of fun for you.
Oh, appreciate it. And I just wanted to thank you guys for I think what you guys are doing is really cool, and I love that you guys are like passionate about it and like actually like do it weekly, and it's amazing. And I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping up with the Instagram, doing the show every week, the editing. Yeah,
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
Sometimes it's cumbersome, but I do like it though. I really enjoy.
It's all about the passion for it.
Yeah, I enjoy making the videos. I enjoy making the content, and even when 10 people listen to our podcast, those are 10 people that listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely.
I completely relate to that. When I first started, when I got 3-5 likes, I was happy.
Yeah, exactly. Because those
You got to
3
keep
5
that
random
same
people.
mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just got to keep
And
on
when you
posting.
get big, you got to keep that same mentality again. You can never be satisfied.
Never be satisfied. Okay, Tomer, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks,
We're
Noah.
gonna make you a recurring guest. Don't worry. You will become a recurring guest. You will be our private eye in Texas for all Texas sports. And when Texas makes it far in the college playoffs, I mean in the March Madness, I know the articles are gonna be fire. I already know they're gonna be money.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to have you in Texas and be back on the show.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I was just waiting for that. We're definitely gonna take that flight down though. So excited.
And maybe New York when Sam Darnold wins the championship.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Shout out
streaking
that
in
way.
Times Square.
It goes both ways. We both have plans now. That's sick.
I love it. Okay.
Thank you.
See you.
All right, we'll talk later.
Bye. Thanks for watching. Catch us next week.